Welcome to D-Rocksteady Reviews 2.0. Today we're going to be taking a look at Predator, the original Years Omnibus, Volume 1 by Mark Verheiden. It has a 1,008 page count and the cover price of $125. Let's get to the chopper and get into this review. So here we have the Predator, the original Years Omnibus Volume 1 in all of its glory. This is the direct market variant with artwork from Chris Warner on the cover here of the dust jacket. Looking at the spine here, love all the red with the Predator logo, and you get the little Predator at the bottom and a number 1, so hopefully we did number 2. You get a little cover gallery on the back here. All of the issues collected in this omnibus have fantastic covers, man. Looking at the inside of the dust jacket, on the left-hand side, a synopsis of what's collected in this book, and on the right-hand side, a list of the creators, and you get the cool little Predator down there. Now this is a fantastic wraparound cover here with artwork from Brian Stelfreeze. Now this is from Cold War issues 1 through 4. There are 4 connecting covers, and this is 2 of the covers here that make up this wraparound on the omnibus. Great artwork, man. Love the Predator just attacking. This is a great story as well, one of my favorites in the omnibus. Now let's just open this up real quick and check out the binding. Also another one of my favorite stories in this book, Bad Blood. Surprising that I opened up to this page, but you get the red ribbon here. Not a whole lot of an eye here, but you don't get a lot of gutter loss throughout this book. This is a well-made Omni, and I'm really happy with how this book turned out. The only complaint I have really is this title page here. I feel like this heat vision Predator image here is a little blurry. I know it's supposed to look that way, but I probably would have went with something else. You get the creators listed here, and you get this little square at the bottom that says, this previously published content includes negative depictions and or mistreatment of people or cultures. These stereotypes were wrong then and are wrong now. Rather than remove this content, we want to acknowledge this harmful impact, learn from it, and spark conversation to create more inclusive future together. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, this book about to be lit. There's going to be a bunch of just inappropriate content throughout this, lots of mature themes. I mean, it is Predator, so I do expect the brutality. So you do get a table of contents in this book, which is great, and then it starts out with a bang with Predator number 1, the first appearance of Predator in comics, which is great, man. I love this story here. It's 4 issues, I believe. And it kind of gives you the Predator 2 feeling, which actually there is an adaptation of Predator 2, the movie, directly after this storyline here. So you're introduced to this character, John Schaefer, who is actually the bigger brother of Dutch from the Predator movie. So I like how they tie all that stuff in. They're kind of like part of this like gang unit in New York City, and there's a bunch of these killings, a bunch of gang members and stuff are getting like slaughtered and skinned, and of course the Predator is around, and John Schaefer just gets into sick fistfights with the Predator. The Predator actually leaves like a tag on his neck too, so John Schaefer actually travels down to South America, and the Predator follows, so there's another sick battle with them. John Schaefer does have the helmet, which his partner Roux, I believe his name is, actually like can use it to see these ships coming as is shown here, which is pretty dope. Great storyline, man. I'm a fan of the character. He's got that really like 80s action hero vibe, the one-liners, and just a big brolic dude. I mean, he's always just trying to get into hand-to-hand combat with the Predator, which is ridiculous. I mean, this was a great storyline. I like the characters. I like the involvement with the history of the Predator movie, with him being the older brother of Dutch, and he actually is looking for Dutch throughout this. So that's kind of the main thing that continues throughout these stories. Then you'll get on to Predator 2, the adaptation. So this is basically verbatim like the whole Predator 2 movie, but only in 2 issues, which I'm really surprised they condensed it, and it wasn't too bad, man. What's funny about this story as well is I've seen Predator 2 a ton of times, man, and I actually never knew the character's name that Danny Glover played until I read this. It's Mike Hannigan. I had no idea. I would always just refer to him as Danny Glover throughout this, which is kind of funny. I mean, it'll always still just be Danny Glover to me, but it's got the whole Predator 2 storyline, man, the Rastafarian gangbangers. You have the agency coming in with Peter Keyes, the man who was played by Gary Busey actually in the movie, that kind of know about these Predator creatures, and they're really trying to like basically find one and then like, learn about its alien technology and things like that, which that does tend to be a common theme throughout a couple of these stories. Big Daddy government trying to get their hands on this alien technology. So this issue wraps up here. You get the Danny Glover getting the pistol after he defeats the Predator in hand-to-hand combat. There's actually a little nod to the pistol too later on. There's a little short story where it has like the origin of where that pistol came about, which was pretty cool to see in here as well. Then you get this big game here. You're introduced to this Navajo soldier. He's got a couple issues in this as well that'll extend. There's a later issue with him and his grandfather, but this is the issue I think where the warning came from, because there's a couple little very minor like slurs to Native Americans in here. There's also a one with like the Italian mafia later on, and there's a couple like sort of associated slurs with them as well. So I think that's where the warning comes from, is these issues here, and maybe the mobster issue that's collected later in the back of this book. And speaking of collected, let's get into what this omnibus does collect. This collects Predator 1989 1 through 4, Predator 2 1 through 2, Predator Big Game 1 through 4, Predator Cold War 1 through 4, Predator The Bloody Sands of Time 1 through 2, Predator Dark River 1 through 4, Predator Strange Roux, and Predator Kindred 1 through 4. Plus material from Dark Horse Presents 1986 number 46, 119, Dark Horse Comics 1 through 2, 4 through 7, 10 through 14, 16 through 18, and 20 through 21, and a Decade of Dark Horse number 1. So here we get issues 1 through 4 of Cold War. You get John Schaefer returning with his partner Roux. There's a base in Siberia that gets attacked by these predators, and the Russians are kind of trying to figure out what's going on. And then you have John Schaefer coming into the mix, so he ends up kind of meeting up with this lieutenant, this woman from the Russian army, and they're trying to battle against these predator creatures and stuff like that, while their governments are basically trying to, grab this alien technology and use it for whatever they want to use it for. So it's great artwork throughout this, and like I said, John Schaefer returning. You get a lot of that like 80s style action hero stuff, which is cool. Then you have this story about a man whose squad gets killed by a predator, and a lawyer is trying to represent him in like a court case, and he finds a diary that goes back to like 1920 where something similar happened, so he's using that as evidence, and it goes back in time and shows you all the events that happened, which is, it's pretty cool, man. There's a lot of different dating throughout this. You get this great issue here which has no dialogue. It's just this dude from an African tribe, his tribesmen get killed by the predator, and then he kind of just, goes out and battles the predator here, which is beautiful artwork, man. Just a really I think all the artwork throughout this whole book is just spectacular. Really good. Then you get the bad blood stuff here, which is some of my favorite stuff in this whole omnibus. You have a little intro here where it's like a radio station talking, and it's like talking about all these serial killers and stuff like that, and then you have the predator popping up. These couple issues here all take place at like this paintball playing ground, whatever. Like a predator shows up and just starts killing these paintballers, which I believe are just like rich men going out trying to like shoot each other and have a game or whatever. And predator shows up. This one, he just starts murdering people, and then another sick predator shows up, and they start fighting each other, and then like this dude teams up with this other squad to take on the predators. It's just some real good stuff, man, and it has really incredible artwork, super gory, super detailed. Love the colors in it. This has to be probably the strongest story of the whole book for me. These bad blood issues were what made me happy that I picked up this book. And where did I pick up this book? Of course I picked up this book from organicpricebooks.com, the best place to get your omnibus and other collected editions. Super fast shipping, bulletproof packaging, and amazing customer service. Use code DROCK to get $2 off every purchase and join the OPB family today. Gotta love all the gore throughout this story here too. It's just super solid. I think all the artwork is fantastic, man. The inking in this, the detail, the predators all look real good. Just real fantastic stuff, man. This is what you want in a predator story. And then it jumps into this hunted city here. This is what I was talking about with the mafia. This mobster gets blamed for all these murders, but actuality it's the predator. And I think this has some really fantastic artwork in it. Kind of reminds me of the stuff that's in like the Hawkeye Matt Fraction stuff, which actually there's another story later on in this that's very similar to it, the art style. Then you get this here, you get the Navajo soldier coming back, and his grandfather is talking to him about like this event that had happened in his past where he himself saw a predator as well. So that was very cool. Then you get the fourth dimension stuff here, which was a fun little issue or two. I forget how many were in this, but it's like this dude's putting on this movie where you wear these glasses, and these glasses actually make it so that you can see the predator. This little kid figures it out, and he sees his predator there, and a bunch of just wild shit happens throughout this. The predator ends up like coming to this movie premiere. Everybody who's like watching the movie is like, wow, this is really good in the fourth dimension or whatever, because they have the glasses, but actually it's just this predator running around just murdering people. They drive in a sick hot dog car. Come on, man. I mean, this is just superb stuff right here. Now, reading all these stories really made me think that, like, the American Horror Stories, I wish they had, like, a Predator version of that, man. That would be really sweet if they did that. So this is what I was talking about earlier, too, where they kind of have the history of the gun here. So it's like this pirate thing with these pirates, and the Predator attacks them, and that's where this little, the pistol comes about. Then you get another story here, The Dark River, with, John Schaefer, he returns, Dutch's brother, still looking for his brother Dutch. He gets tipped off in this that his brother still might be in like South America somewhere, but in actuality, they're just still trying to use Dutch because like the Predator is attracted to him. They're trying to use him to get the Predator and find its technology and all that, which kind of is a common theme throughout all these. You get this great issue here where these kind of dudes in Louisiana are out in the bayou and they're doing some hunting, and then the Predator starts to hunt them. And really great artwork throughout this too. You get this weird tale of this like Wally something. I forget what the hell this creature's name is, but this dude who like turned into a lizard and just like eats people out in the bayou. Great stuff. This dude actually ends up killing the Predator and making gumbo out of him in the end. So, I mean, you can't beat that, man. Some cool little, like, short story in here. Love this short story stuff, man. And then you get this, another one that I kind of thought was, like, the Matte Fraction look. The way the artwork kind of, it gives me that feel throughout this. But you have, like, some convicts who end up escaping, and there's a man who had the Predator had killed his father when he was young, and the whole story is just really, really great, and it wraps up super well. And this is really getting towards the end of this omnibus. Really a good finish on this. I hope that we get a volume 2. You get that Concrete Jungle, the novel there, which actually I had as a kid, which I probably shouldn't have had as a kid because it was pretty messed up. Great artwork collected throughout the back of this omnibus and the extras. You get these like German covers for some of the Predator issues. Bunch of different covers throughout this. All look phenomenal. There's the 4 connecting covers from Cold War there, which is great to see and have collected in this book. Like I said, just phenomenal artwork. I was a huge fan of this omnibus. You get a recipe for the Predator and that Bayou issue there, which is really, really cool. The little gumbo recipe there. Great inks. Huge fan of this. Super happy it finally came out. I know there was like a time where it may have been stopped, but man, this is gonna be hard to beat for my favorite read of the year, to be honest. There's the standard edition omnibus cover right there. As a huge Predator fan, I am extremely happy with this omnibus. Let me know what you think about this book down in the comments, and as always, man, thank you for watching.